In pro track and field, the World Championship meet is considered to be the pinnacle of the sport, at least when it's not an Olympic year. And no, I did not come up with that myself. Just about anybody you talk to who's in the track and field community, including the athletes, and every stakeholder who actually pays money to make this thing happen. Everything hinges on the Worlds and the Olympics. That's just how it's set up at the moment. But World Athletics decided that they wanted to add something new into the system. So they announced an Ultimate Championship. The full title is the World Athletics Ultimate Championship. And when it was announced for 2026, I didn't pay it much mind because we already had a World Championship meet. The year that they were putting it in was supposed to be an off year because the way the calendar goes, you have a World Championship, an Olympics, a World Championship, and then an off year. So they decided to do something else during the off year. And before I get into all that, allow me to clarify. This is one of those moments where, no, I didn't really have much intention on making this video. But World Athletics decided to drop a bomb. And I heard it. So, let's talk about it. Because the bomb that they dropped is that the World Athletics Ultimate Championship is going to give out very real prize money. In fact, if you get first place in their event, first place, they're handing out $150,000 to the winner. That is a lot of money when you're a track athlete, and as far as I'm understanding, we've never seen that amount of money for one event. And the event is only scheduled to be several days because they're not going to do a whole bunch of prelims and a bunch of different heats, and it's more or less going to be a lot of finals. That's what they're trying to tell us. And there'll be relays and there'll be prize money for that as well, which is not quite as high for the individual. I don't even know if the relays have to split the money. I think a winning relay with $80,000, I don't know if that's $20,000 for each person or $80,000 for each person. I'm assuming it's $20,000 for each person, but hey, nobody asked me. But this is a big deal because when you add that type of prize money, people are going to show up and take it seriously because they want to get paid. And beyond that, the real question is why? Why now? Why this amount of money? Because you can look through the whole, money sheet and who gets what. But fundamentally, the only logical reason why we're seeing this is because the ecosystem around World Athletics and what they do is changing. Because Grand Slam track is here, and I don't believe it's going anywhere. There's a whole lot that I could say that I'm not going to get into right now. That said, I do believe that what we are doing at the World Championship level and even the Olympic level is a very different product than what people want to believe it is. That is not pro track and field. It's an amateur pro event. Notice I didn't even say pro amateur. It's an amateur pro event. Allow me to explain. Yes, there are pro athletes at the Worlds and at the Olympics. But up until now, the way those things function is we have athletes from all around the world who compete. All around the world. And many of those athletes are legitimately amateurs. I'm not just talking about people who don't have a pro contract. I'm saying real amateurs. Don't get paid at all and aren't allowed to. High school kids and college kids compete at the Worlds and the Olympic Games and then go back to those levels. I'm just saying, they're not even allowed to get paid anything when they go out there to compete. If you see how we do the elimination structures of national team trials and who makes it, fundamentally, by the time you get to the World or the Olympics, yes, you have some of the fastest people in the world, or even for that matter, most of the fastest people in the world remaining. But not everybody. People get left home. Christian Coleman can tell you that. It had nothing to do with whether he's fast. In America, he didn't qualify because only 3 men get to go. In 2024, if you had sent him to the Olympic Games in Paris, he likely would have made the final in the 100 and the 200. It just is what it is. That's how fast he was at the USA trials. On technicality, he's not allowed to run. But you could have just thrown him in a lane and let him go. We had a whole bunch of people who couldn't even break 10.5 in the first round of the 100 heats. All those participatory athletes, no shade, just being honest. That's the thing. The World Championships, however, have been billed as the pinnacle of the sport. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section because I try to read them all. So even though now we have this ultimate championship coming out and the prize money attached, it raises the question for me, wait, what's the world championship then? Like, what is that? Because up until now, what I was told is the Olympics are the pinnacle and the world championships are more or less trying to capture that same energy. If you're going to do an ultimate championship, and then you're going to try to build it up to be even more than what we just said, again, make it make sense, because as far as the casual fans get it, the Olympics are here and everything else is down here. The truth is, Grand Slam track, I do believe, is the reason why this prize money is going up. And I'm not going to go down that path. I said I wouldn't in this video, and we're not doing that. What I am going to discuss, like on a deeper level, is what is Grand Slam track trying to establish, as far as I understand it, and then what World Athletics is doing. Because pro sports are different from what we see on the international scene. Every sport has an international scene. Basketball has it. Soccer has it. They all have governing bodies. I'm not mad at that product. I am not anti-World Athletics. I'm not anti-World Championship. I'm sure enough not anti-Olympics. I just see it for what it is. It's an amazing product. It's international. It brings together some of the best athletes in the world competing in a sport that I care a whole lot about, track and field. But that product, the same product that allows amateurs, high school kids, college kids to compete, that product, as good as it is, that product is not a truly professional product. Perhaps the World Athletics Ultimate Championship is trying to create a professional stage for, I guess, athletes who've come through their system. Their intention is to take people who've won Diamond League finals and, Olympic finals and I guess world champions and put them all out there. They're going to have to fill out a field to some degree, so I guess there's going to be some additional particulars. I don't know if they're going to use like national team trials to qualify people in or not. Again, I have no idea how that's going to function. But if this product is supposed to take the cream from the top, it's almost like they're acknowledging that what the World Championships actually are, and for that matter, what the Olympics actually are, no shade, just being honest, is not actually the best. Pro track and field, in a functional world, the same world that I believe we're headed to, with Grand Slam track and the rest, that world is supposed to be a pro product. The particulars don't matter. The lanes on the track don't discriminate. We don't care what nation you're from. If you are the fastest and you step in the ring, you can throw hands and somebody's going to get knocked down. At the end of it, it's where I hope we get. We can crown somebody as the fastest, the top athlete in the world in whatever event group, or however we're doing this. But fundamentally, you got to be a pro to get in that ring. And we can build a product around that. I don't think that's at odds with anything that has the title World Championship on it. We have pro basketball and we have the World Cup of basketball, and we have pro soccer and we have the World Cup for soccer. Like, it's okay to do both. It's fine. They're separate products. And you can even row in the same direction to accomplish that. Together, everybody accomplishes more. But let's be clear. Pro track for a long time has not functioned like this. There really was no pro scene. Like, there really wasn't one. It was all about the amateur stuff. We tried to professionalize a little bit of it. Like, some of the athletes there were sponsored. Some of them had contracts. Some of them had incentives. But it wasn't everybody. So here we are. World Athletics has decided they want to make sure that people are watching what they're doing. I'm not mad at it. But let's be real. Because the idea that something professional is showing up to the game, like the idea of it, because Grand Slam track is new, like brand new. All of a sudden, we watch prize money skyrocket. And I mean multiples. Diamond League, doubling the prize money. World Athletics, Ultimate Championship, throwing out a whole bunch of money people ain't never seen. And by never, I mean like, where was this for the last decade? We know where it was. There was no incentive for them to spend it. And now they have a reason. Hey, I hope the athletes enjoy it. I hope they get to, celebrate and compete at a high level and get some of that money. But it doesn't excuse the fact that professional track needs to be a thing. A space for pros, the best athletes, the ones who get paid to do it, competing for something that actually matters. Because you can't just call yourself the fastest anymore from winning a championship, specifically one where high school and college kids were allowed to show up in place of people who actually deserve to be there, who get paid to do it. But hey, nobody asked me. I just thought we should have this conversation and kind of move the needle forward. So let me know in the comments what you think, because this is news. And although 2026 is a year away, it's going to be here a whole lot sooner than you think. In the sport of track and field, race day is honestly the easy part, because all of the real work gets put in when nobody is watching. When you wear every day is training day gear, you can let the whole world know that your success in competition is not an accident. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below, and it always comes with free shipping. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.